And we're gonna start. You can introduce yourself first, Sam.
Damn, I feel like I'm on a job interview now. No, they ask the question.
No, just shoot your name out there real quick. It ain't gotta be deep.
My government name or
I don't care what it is.
Sam.
All right.
Or D'Artagnan. Whichever one y'all call me. Most of the time it's Sam. Okay.
And who we got next?
Now D'Artagnan.
What's going on, y'all? This is Remy.
All right. All right, and so what we finna discuss is obviously the shit that's went down all over the internet. This brother Derrick Jaxn, because I'm not gonna just abandon him. I'm not gonna just throw him away. All y'all want to throw him away. I'm not gonna throw him away. I'm gonna find a way to defend him and explain what actually happened, as opposed to what these three people are saying happened. I'm going to explain what actually happened.
All right.
All right. So I want the lady to go first because, and in fairness, because I think he kind of let the ladies down more than the men.
Well, first of all, I already thought it was kind of odd that was his everything, you know, catering to teaching women how to deal with men. Like it's something about that that's a little bit shaky for me anyway. But what's interesting to me is the fact that the recent lady that came out said that he had been recording the videos in front of her house. And if you look in the background, you know, you can see I think it was like 2 or 3 of them where you could see the front, like her window of, you know, the front of her house. And it's just like, is he recording these videos of scenarios that are happening right then? You coming out of their house and that happening, and you get in your car and talk about, you know, ladies, if your man is doing this. Because how you sitting right outside this woman's car? Said, not your wife, not your home, like the lady that you cheat with. So, you know.
Okay, but let me explain.
Okay, go for that one.
In order for him to deliver an accurate message, he had to live it. He had to go do the deed in order to get that was a muse for him, right? So in order for him to speak truth, he got to live that truth. So he went and lived it just to deliver to y'all queens. just to prepare y'all for men that do the same thing. He did that for y'all.
Let me tell you. Let me cut you off real quick on that. Let me tell you. When a man feels the guiltiest is when he's leaving his side chick's house. Let me tell you. When a man feels the guiltiest is when he's leaving his side chick's house.
That's a good point.
So when you leave your side chick and you get in the car and you about to drive back home to your wife, your girl, whatever the hell you feel on your heart, that's the shit that he's feeding y'all. Don't let your man the shit that he just did. That's what
exactly. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, he has a fresh revelation.
And that guilt, you right, that guilt seeps in. Yeah, you right.
So was he? So he wasn't wrong for doing it because he's doing it for y'all.
Huh?
He doing it.
He was doing that for the women. So that means
what exactly was he doing?
Go a little bit deeper. Explain that part for me. Explain
what
that.
exactly was he doing?
He knew he had to have to have content. So in order to have content to sell and produce, he had to go live the life. That's what I'm saying. He sacrificed his own morality.
So this was an experiment.
He sacrificed himself.
So this was an experiment then.
He sacrificed himself. He didn't want to do that.
For the sake of an experiment.
For the sake of y'all. For the sake of y'all. Man,
so he had to live it in order to.
What he could have done. Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to.
Done hey, this is something that I'm speaking from experience. Like, you know, if you telling women will respect it if he said I've lived this before, but for him to spit it like this is just unforgivable. Everything I'm doing is unforgivable, basically.
But it don't come off as hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for a rapper to rap about being in the trap when he been a millionaire for like Jay-Z can't rap about the trap right now. We not listening to Jay-Z rap about the trap. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z got to rap about being a billionaire if he want to rap.
Right.
So my man Derrick said, you know what? I want y'all to have such an authentic, true, raw,
But
accurate depiction.
I
will sacrifice myself.
No, sir. No, sir.
Y'all not buying that?
The thing about that,
no, hell no.
Though, if that was really the narrative, then if that was really his train of thought, he wouldn't spit it like this is just not forgivable. He wouldn't spit it like it's something that you can't do whatever, hands down. He's never said he's done it. He's not speaking from experience when he's giving this advice.
He does give that.
Feels like he has to live it in order to give the advice. That's the way he has to deliver it, right?
No, but let's be for real. Let's be for real. He's lived this. We've all lived that life. You know what I mean? We've all lived.
There's one.
I didn't.
That's all we got.
I didn't.
We had to get him on there.
Even in high school.
No. Even then. That's why I brought him on here. He's the last one. D'Artagnan. He's the last. He's one of the last. My hope in mankind is oftentimes based on how this man rolls.
Nigga make me sound like a Highlander. Hey, now the only way that spin would have made sense and have been acceptable is if he was talking about past experiences. Exactly. This nigga was talking about
honest about that.
Yeah, and he had to put it out there like, this is what I learned from what I used to do. But this nigga was currently doing it, and then he was throwing other men under the bus. He threw John Gray under the bus for doing the same thing, but John Gray said he ain't have sex. I believe that. Only thing he could find was up under his belly. But what dude was doing, he was actually smashing these chicks, and he was calling other dudes out and telling women that you don't want to mess with these type of niggas.
Exactly.
He put himself on a pedestal of morality, like he was second to Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. He was being deceptive the whole time.
Right.
And I think that's what
if
the zooming about the clothes.
Here's my thing, right? When men get to that space, so you have this popularity, you've obviously made this money, you get a certain level of income and you get a certain level of access. There's gonna be temptation, right? They are gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
What okay. There was never a moment when I ever seen a video of dude or knew anything about him. There was never a moment where I didn't think that he was doing some dirt. I always thought, yeah, he's doing something. But what the shocking thing about all this for me was the manner in which he was doing it and how he got caught. For example, like the first one, he tried to ghost her. You don't try to ghost the side chick, bro. And you damn sure don't try to ghost the side chick when she don't really know the side chick, or she don't know that, she doesn't know that's her true role. So he had her under the impression that I'm separated, we're getting a divorce, I'm in the free and clear to date and do what I want to do. That's what he had her under the impression. But then when it started falling apart on his end, he tried to ghost her. Bro, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That don't even work in the dating game, just ghosting. It doesn't.
Especially not at his time.
How would you have handled that part?
Man, let me look, man. First of all, I would not have, if I was gonna partake, I would have let her know, hey, I am married. This is my situation, period. I'm not married and separating. I'm not married and getting a divorce. I'm married. The ring is on. What's up? And then either you take that or you don't. Now, being that I'm a dude who has some money, who has a reputation, who has a brand, I'm gonna come with some paperwork. I'm gonna need you to sign this non-disclosure agreement, and you can't speak on nothing that takes place between me and you. And then from there we move forward. But he didn't want to move like that. He wanted to move like a dude who didn't have status, and then he wanted to move kind of on his own strength that I just got it like that. And you can't move like that. You too public. So I didn't think he was that stupid. I thought he would have been doing it with non-disclosure agreements and little minor settlements and tricking off a little bit. That's what I thought he might have been doing. But this dude, he was doing something different.
Now, considering the way that you just explained that, how he's supposed to have cut it off, it makes me look at him like if I would have decided to try to step out on my wife. Like, I don't know how to make those decisions. You know what I'm saying? I've never been that sneaky nigga. And which is why I was always, before I was married and I was dating, I was always up front. So that everybody, you know, had a chance to agree on what they want, you know what I'm saying, what they don't want. So I never made commitments when I was dating. So that wouldn't be an expectation of exclusivity. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at the way that he got caught, that looked like something that if I had decided to do it, I would got caught just like that. So he looked like he's the type of nigga that never had that experience, and he stepped down and tried it, and so he went into panic mode and started cutting everything off. That looked like something I would have did. I feel like I would do something like that.
He did a fire sale.
So it's like, man, it's like, damn, when I look at the nigga, it was like when he first did his shit, when he first made his statement, when he was sitting in the room, he finally got out of his car. And when he first made a statement, I was just like, you know what? I understand. You know, I can understand that. But then he started making all the other dumbass videos. And I was like, nah, nigga, you lost me. But I think that he just the type of nigga that came up lame, got married early, and then threw himself out there into some uncharted territory and didn't know how to navigate. Yeah. So he got caught the way that he did, and now he in this storm that he's in right now.
I definitely can see that.
I think
because he still got those little lame vibes. So yeah.
I think what he should do now, if you listen to this, brother, embrace it. You embrace this. And you say, you know what? I showed y'all dumbasses. I showed you. I sold it to you and I showed it to you. And now you really know what to watch out for. Flip it around and just put on the black mask and the black cape and just live it. Be the bad guy now. You can't go back to, you can't go back to being the good guy. You can't go back to
go all in.
On how to he should give advice on how to cheat and just be a fuck.
No. He can't give advice on how to cheat. He can give advice on how to cheat and get caught. Because he can't, but he just gotta embrace that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was the bad dude and I was selling dreams and I was living a double life. And that's what some of us do. And I showed y'all that's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
So he just come on this motherfucker.
He said he gonna skip that part and show you how to heal with your wife.
No, hell no. Ain't nobody buying that.
That's a situation. If he can just build a brand on healing, or he can document his healing with his wife, or them working through this situation.
They have a book.
And look, and her writing, him helping her through. Man, he humiliated that lady. That lady, his wife was not looking up to par to be on TV, like to be on making any type of goddamn video, whatever the hell. So
I think the reason why I think the reason why she didn't put any extra effort in her look was, I feel like, to me it just seems like she was just so over it that, you know, I feel like if it was somebody who was still in it,
right.
I mean, not that she had any reason to prove anything to anybody and, you know, get dolled up, but I feel like a woman that's really in it and whatever they tried to do, the damage control, she would have went all in with it. But I feel like that's just how over it she was, and she just kind of was there.
But I'm saying, why would
the look on her face?
Why would you, as a woman, why would you even come on TV? Why would you even come on, make a video?
Exactly. The fact that she showed up at all.
It's just like,
yeah.
What about and Sam, I want you to speak to this. What about the part where it seems as if he's weaponizing Christianity, he's weaponizing salvation as a way to garner forgiveness, garner support, and everything else through this process? Do you think he's genuine in that, or he's disingenuous when he's going there? Because one of the ladies that he dated or that he was seeing on the side said this is never a side that he's shown. And the idea is that he's speaking in that language of Christianity and belief and salvation and redemption as a way to keep his wife and as a way to gain forgiveness from the masses. So what you think about that?
Man, he ain't the first, and he damn sure won't be the last to do that.
Right.
It's people, it's some niggas sitting in church next to their wives right now, to sitting there only because he feel like that's what's gonna get him back into the house. You know what I'm saying? But as far as him, I'm not gonna judge his sincerity. But I can see how, like, at this, in this time, how it can seem as if he's weaponizing Christianity and salvation and trying to use grace and forgiveness and all this stuff as a means of as a means of cleaning his image up. Because I would say maybe a large portion of his base audience were probably single Christian women.
Right.
And if he can spin that narrative where I'm saved now, God is working on me, he can probably hold on to that demographic of viewers that he had that would buy that. Because as a Christian, we believe in being, redemption and coming, deliverance and coming back from sin and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not so much of that mind anymore. So I mean, I look at the nigga like, hey, you can say that all you want, but you got to show some actions over the course of time, because it just seems very convenient that he will profess Christ now that he's been caught up in this stuff. And when he was making the explanation video, I can understand, at the time I just got saved and my life was falling apart and all yada yada yada. So I was saying F it and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I mean, I think a lot of people who was taught wrong, who was taught bad theology, and was really lured into Christianity by promises of what will happen in your life, and they see that it's the opposite of glory and glamour. And when life starts to happen, it's just life. It's not an attack. It's not the devil. It's just life. And when they see that life isn't what they was told it to be, then they'll just be like, you know what? I gave it a shot. It didn't work. So I'm on, I'm going to the other end of the spectrum. That happens. That happens a lot, unfortunately. So whether or not he was truthful in that, it may have been some truth in that, but I still feel like it was very convenient for him to bring that up now. In none of his videos over 10 plus years, he even hinted at being a Christian. He nigga didn't even show his wife. I ain't even know the nigga was married.
I didn't either. I think that a part of that too was, I feel like the part of that, her being there and supporting him was that too. Her being deep in the church still, and it seems like they have their kind of separate lives going on.
Yeah.
He does what he wants to do. He has his brand going on. She's off in the shadows, and I feel like with this going public and with him embarrassing her so horribly, she probably decided, you know, I'm gonna come forward and this is how we're dealing with it, and you know. Hey, baby, come sit on my arm and support me while I speak about Christ through this whole thing. I feel like it was more so that, you know, her kind of having, I feel like she has a lot to do with him kind of pulling that. And I feel like if they didn't want to bring Christ in it, I don't know. I feel like it has a lot to do with her. That's my main thing.
Right.
I feel like if he was just gonna go in there, defend himself, speak about it, you know, he would have just stepped in there on his own and done it by himself, which is what he should have done in the first place. But him pulling her in and all that, I feel like he kind of spun it by speaking about that, and I feel like that makes her feel more comfortable about the forgiveness by him speaking about Christ on camera and speaking about, you know, forgiveness in that way. It may, you know, she's more compelled to forgive him and move forward and kind of stick through the same old shit because he ain't gonna stop.
But Remy, I want to get your take on it. Could he have simply denied everything and just claimed it was all a setup, and then instantly went dark, and then maybe in a couple of months, even a year, just come back making videos like nothing happened?
He should. Okay, so when I remember, I think it was Drake made a comment. He said, give it 72 hours. After 3 days, everybody gonna be on to something new. Just give it 3 days. Everybody be on to something new. So if you just chill out 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, something else gonna hit the fan that's gonna just come over this shit. So if he would have just been quiet for at least a week, 5 days,
man,
make sure everything would have blown over. He could have came out with another fuck goddamn these fuck boys video, and it would have been. I think whatever
so.
That shit was, would have been a
I feel like if he would have tried to circle back around and make a video as if he never left, people would have been like, "Wait a minute, you gonna have to explain this."
Don't respond to it. Don't respond.
Keep it going.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't even respond. Don't even entertain. Dude, I done back-to-back 30-day bans on Facebook. So I done sit in the dark and I done sit in timeout against my will. So I know. So I know I can. But see, the only thing is he has a wife and he has kids. And even if he would have been like, I'm just gonna go into the dark, his wife would have had to been on the team with that. His wife would have to be like, you know what? I'm going to co-sign that. I think to save his marriage, he still had to come out at some point and say something. Because I don't think his wife would have been on board with just sit it down for 72 hours. Just sit it down for a week.
That's why, yes. I feel like she's probably like, yeah.
You have to understand.
I feel like she had a lot to do with as much, yeah.
I understand but you have to understand the dynamic, where they're coming from, though. This is all Facebook, Instagram comments. Delete the app for at least, so I say delete the app for 5 days. Like she's getting DMs, she's getting goddamn likes, comments, she's still attacked. You need to get her mind off of that shit.
Bro, wait. Do you know how, bro, I've tried this before. Do you know how hard it is for women not to look? I've experienced, listen, somebody's watching, there's a woman watching this video right now who has called me out on my social media interactions. And my response was, don't look. You know how hard that is for some women to just not look?
Brother.
Woo! So,
man.
Don't look. Yeah, look at you. Look at you. Don't look. Yes, we're trying to spare you.
No, I'm just saying, your response being that, just like, oh, don't look. Not,
Just don't look.
Nothing
Don't
else.
don't look at the comments.
Don't look at the comments. Don't even look at my profile. Don't look at nothing I do. Just don't look. I need you not to look at that. Just focus on us in this moment.
Man, the thing is, and I definitely agree with Remy. If he would have just shut up and let it all blow over, it would have blown over, and he would have kept majority of his audience. But the fool just kept making videos, and then his wife started making videos, and then people started.
Let me tell you, he went into panic mode. That nigga was in the house panicking with his phone in his hand, just like, oh shit.
Well, wait, but hold on. Did you hear in one of the videos also that there was something saying he had a deal to start doing some touring with TD Jakes or whatever? And I'm not trying to throw TD Jakes into it as if he's a participating in this bullshit. But I'm just saying there was when you build a brand, you start building partnerships and alliances. So it's not just about home for him. There's some deals. There's some things that are in pencil somewhere. There might even be money that people done gave him and said, here's an advance on X, Y, and Z, so you can bust this move down the line. So he might got obligations to get to the bag on another level that you can't just let it blow over. I mean, maybe
you can, but Manuel, you can because that's where a company's invest in you. They'll send you PR. They will invest that into you. See, he jumped the gun. Let us sit for 5 days.
He should have waited. He should have waited, and then the companies would have
sent the goddamn. TD Jakes send the PR emergency crew. Look, the cleanup room. Boom. Yep. This would have blown over. Yo, you would have. Look, why did the girl even tell him? Why did she tell him?
So what?
Why did the girl tell? Why did she tell?
Because the first one was because he ghosted her. See, that's what I'm saying. Bruh. You don't ghost. Bruh, you don't. Like, that's a rookie mistake. You don't ghost. And I think the other ones came forward because she came forward. You know, all it ever takes is one woman. It just takes
what?
Because the other one's gonna be like, oh, I thought it was just me. And you know these women, Remy, these women, they'll start comparing notes. They start comparing notes. They start comparing. Well, he texted me this day, and he said he was here this, and it gets ugly. It get ugly so fast. Bro, you get one phone call.
I don't want to be part of social media no more.
Huh? What you
say?
Look. One text from one person texting you 5 texts in 5 seconds is one thing. 3 people texting you 5 texts in 5 seconds is another. And when it goes off, it's just like boom, 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 boom. And his thing was probably just lighting up. Notifications was lighting up. And like you said, he just jumped into panic mode. He should have turned that phone off. I don't know if y'all remember the wolf on Pulp Fiction when they killed that dude in that car. And what's his name? And they picked up the phone and called whoever they called, and he said, "I'm sending the wolf." And the wolf showed up to the scene.
Oh yeah.
He was just telling them what to do, when to do it. He said, "I ain't here to be nice and funny. Do X, Y, Z. Boom, boom, boom." And he cleaned up that dead body. It was like nothing happened. That's what Remy's saying. Remy's saying he should have sat down and he should have made a phone call to a big dog somewhere and said, "This is the problem." And then that big dog would have said, "You know what? Sit still, don't move." I look at Chanel. Chanel, she like,
wow.
He don't got no big dog though.
Chanel is like, "This is not how this podcast is supposed to go. We was not gonna talk about saving this food."
What I really want to know is how the third I don't know, it's 2, right? How the last woman, the doctor, got on because apparently she doesn't have social media.
He can't. So he panicked. Look. Let me what he did. She didn't know. She don't got Facebook. She don't got social media. She don't do YouTube. Let me and for people out there,
she didn't know about his presence. She didn't know about his social media presence.
And for people out there that were questioning that, for people out there that were questioning that, right? If you've ever worked with professionals who work in industries like law, they work in industries like they're physicians and sometimes they are so busy with work that they're not at work on the phone. They don't need none of this to pass up time. It's the job. So she was detached. She's detached from that. And so he took advantage of that detachment because he even had to approach her on the street. He didn't approach her off of social media or as a follower. So he had somebody who was totally detached. But what he did was when he panicked, he went into protective mode. So he got in contact with her and said, this is about to happen. And she was like, what are you talking about? So at that point, she said, well, let me go see what he's talking about. And then she found out what he was talking about.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because she said it.
Where he was mentioning the other, the blogger was gonna reach out, but I didn't know how they got there.
And what she was saying, what the other one was saying is, if he never reached out to me, I never would have put his name into a search to even see.
Oh
wow, that's crazy. Oh, I guess according to y'all, he really did a whole lot of amateur stuff, more than we knew.
That's crazy.
He was a whole amateur. He was a whole amateur.
Where's he from? Where's he from?
Man, let me tell you something. Give you an example, and this is gonna sound real greasy, real grimy. And I'm sorry, I apologize. There's a lot of men out here, they don't ever go to the doctor to get an STD check. Never. You know what they do? They wait for some woman to come back and tell them something's wrong. Them dudes just be chilling. They just be dirty dicking and moving and sticking, and they don't care about nothing. Because and if something happened or something go wrong, they don't then tell the woman something is wrong. They just wait and sit back and say, well, this wrong with me. I'm gonna take my meds, and if she don't contact with me, I'm gonna act like nothing happened. I mean, so again, it kind of leads you to believe that maybe he wasn't this dude. He really didn't have this level of experience, and he just jumped into it based on all this newfound fame. And then like Sam is saying, he reacted like somebody who's never partook in it before with the way he handled it.
Yeah. Where's he from?
I don't know. He probably from Atlanta. He probably born
No.
in Atlanta.
He gotta be from like a small town. Like this nigga's like, he's not from like a big. Where's he from?
I don't know.
This nigga is from like.
Name a place you think he could be from.
I don't know.
That nigga from LaGrange.
St. Augustine, Florida.
He from LaGrange.
St. Augustine, like this is not like, come on now. Why would
St. Augustine?
On some real shit. Why would I can't even look at his wife and understand why. You have you have the ability to get. You have to look what you were putting inside.
Wait a minute now.
Oh.
What does that mean?
He got the ability to do what?
He had look at the side chicks that he pulled compared to his chick.
Oh, you saying he could have pulled better from day one?
Yes, he could have pulled better.
But you know, but you know what?
He probably wasn't even used to that caliber of women even coming at him.
That's what it was.
In Florida. If he was from Atlanta, it would have been a whole different set of setup.
Well, hold on. I want Chanel to speak to something, because this is something that I think happens. I think a lot of men, especially if they marry young, they marry an idea, right? Mm-hmm. They marry the woman that they've been told that is the ideal. She should dress a certain way, present herself a certain way, move, talk, and groove a certain way. And as you age and mature, even though when you're young, when you're young that you might prefer something, but you're going to allow everything else to influence you on an image. And then you see these men later in life, you think he done had an identity crisis. No, he's just more honest about who he is now. So if he knew who he was then, he might have been with somebody like that. And it's not her fault that she's not like that. It's his fault that he wasn't real with himself. And now he's in the situation where this is not going to work if it's a divorce. See, there's another part of this. The divorce does not award him a goddamn thing. Bro, your infidelity is all over the world, nigga. It's cheaper to keep her. It's way cheaper to keep her because there's no judge in the land that's gonna be like, well, let's make this fair. No, because you broke the vow. You're losing automatically. But Chanel, I want you to speak on that. Like, have you encountered that from men that say they want one type or they got one type, but they paying attention to something totally different?
Yeah, because I changed my hair a lot. So, when I had locks, I would get like, oh man, you rocking them locks. I don't like all that weave, but I cut my locks off, had a fade. Oh, you got a fade, So I feel like people give you whatever you rocking, that's what they own. Men can say all day long, people can say all day long. They don't like hair, they don't like weave, or they don't like this look, they don't like that look, but they own whatever's in front of them.
Not necessarily, because I feel like it depends on where he's from. If he's from a small town like, let's say, Tamarack, Florida, some shit, the caliber of women that's coming at him, it's a total different, physically, it's a totally different type of woman. Mentally, a totally different type of woman. It's just a different type of woman coming at him in the masses. So it's hard to just say.
I see what you're saying. You saying like there was a joke. They said a lot of women when they went to Atlanta for All-Star Weekend, they went down there and found out that they was 10s wherever they were from, but they got to Atlanta and found out they was a 2. And so a lot of dudes, they come from these small areas and they might be big shit in these small areas, but then they get to another area and the women that's checking for them, they thought these women only existed on social media. And then you get to a city and it's like this everywhere, and this is normal here, and it'll shake you up. It'll shake you up. It'll shake you up. I can see that.
But I think it's important to speak on. Everybody could be his wife. You know what I'm saying? Her look. She's very pretty. I feel like her energy, her vibe, just everything that she exudes, the fact that she just was kind of chilling, kind of I think that speaks to her state of mind in their relationship, where she is mentally, because of what she goes through with him. I feel like if he was watering her and if their relationship was healthy, she would have elevated just like him. They both were your ordinary high school couple, college couple, whatever age they first started out, and looking like regular old people, young people that get together, and then he get this platform, get in the gym, and kind of think he doing something, and she's sitting at home because he's feeding her all this bullshit, so she's just kind of throwing the sweatpants on and turning it into this timid, kind of hidden person, when it's really more so about the way she's feeling and the way he's treating her in the relationship. She has the potential to be just like every other woman that he encounters, but
I don't know.
I got a question.
I think she was that cute.
Would you have forgiven, if you was in this situation, would you have forgiven him if it was only one woman?
No.
God damn, why your face? You didn't even like, you didn't even give it a,
because we're not talking, I'm not saying that you can't make no mistakes, but the way his setup was, absolutely not. It was just too much mess with it. And the fact that he has this platform and everything that he's speaking about and this image that he's created, and this is the way he's living, no, ain't no way.
So if he was a regular dude and this happened, maybe. But being that he got the platform and you building your brand off of this, that would have been more automatic. No. Okay.
Yes.
So Remy, sound like you got a chance.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
Look at Remy. He was
I'm not saying that you get to just be buck wild. I'm saying that people make mistakes. That's all, and that's the extent I'm saying.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not. Isn't a mistake though? Because I hear that a lot when niggas get caught like, man, I made a mistake. I mean, a mistake is
like
like driving in the wrong direction.
I don't know. I don't like.
Yeah. If a person get caught, that's a whole nother thing. A person get caught is somebody, you know.
I think by mistake.
If it was a matter of somebody coming forward and saying, "Hey, this happened," and it's not a matter of them getting caught, they just being honest, I feel like that's more forgivable than, "Hey, I caught you in our bed and that hit the fan," and it's like, "Oh, baby, I'm sorry." Like, no, I'm good.
No, I think I like what Sam is saying, and I think what Chanel said. It's not a mistake that he made. It's a bad decision. You made the wrong or a bad decision. Now you might feel bad about it, but let's be clear. You only feel bad about it, or you're only saying that you feel bad about it and apologetic because you got caught. If you were still living your life, or if it was able to dissolve behind closed doors without anybody knowing, we would have no clue. And a lot of times women or people in general will forgive the whole blow up. But if it's on a certain level, being that he got this platform, like you saying, that's different. Like, that's public embarrassment on a whole different level. That's so many people involved. I mean, and the one thing about human beings, you know, everybody, I've seen this online, is everybody saying how, you know, why are people upset? You know, everybody's a hypocrite. Well, somebody said this, I don't know who did, that the reason that humans hate or not hate, but have a strong dislike for hypocrites is because we all harbor a degree of hypocrisy, and we don't like that within ourselves. So we damn sure don't like it with anybody else. So it's like, it's a constant thing. We're like, whoa, like you can't be so blatantly live with these proclamations and these stances on the type of men that women should only deal with, the type of men they should avoid, and then turn around and be that dude. Like, and for men, the reason we all like, we told you so, is because we was like, this dude seemed so disingenuous from jump, and his presentation was so off that we was like, he's saying common sense stuff, but the way he's going about it, it don't smell right. It's real. You throwing dudes under the bus in the process. So when you fail and when you fall, we told you so. We're not celebrating that a woman got cheated on. We're not celebrating that a woman got embarrassed. And we're not celebrating that a man is, I mean, even though it's done to himself, we ain't celebrating his suffering, but we are celebrating. We told y'all ass that he wasn't shit. Yep, we said it. We said he wasn't shit, and we said he wasn't authentic, and we said he was a fraud. And yep, I told you so.
I think for me, that part is the part that is the unforgivable part. It's not necessarily that he has a platform, it's what his platform is based on.
Right.
That is just like, no, that's not forgivable.
Remy, could you have a in your marriage or in a relationship, would you be, I want all y'all to answer this. Would you be able to have a reality show that where a camera follows you and your significant other around almost all the time?
Yeah.
All right. So if it was for an actual show and it was a monetary show, yes, because I'll probably be on my best behavior. But if it was nah. Everybody, let me tell you, when I'm in a relationship, I don't even follow them on Facebook because you can misinterpret anything. Anything could be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
So no, like.
What about you, Desi? Could you have a camera? Like, could you and your babe, your boo, whomever, would y'all just set up a camera and say, you know what, babe, we're gonna have a YouTube channel, just me and our relationship, and just be good with that?
Yeah.
Bam! Well, look at that shit right there. What about you, Sam?
I mean, no. But and even if I said, yeah, my wife is the type of person that don't want nobody knowing anything. So I know that she would be violently opposed to it. But I mean, just thinking, yeah, she'd probably swing on me if I ever put a camera up in our room. If we went for certain activities.
Hey, God damn it. Damn.
If I had to make a decision for myself, I would say no. Because just just being on social media for so long and seeing how vile people can be at the most minute things, I wouldn't want to expose my wife to that. And I feel like that's part of protecting my wife is to shield her from outside influences, you know what I'm saying, or outside eyes, you know what I'm saying, because we don't argue a lot. So when we do argue, you know what I'm saying, like we pissed at each other, you know. So if that was exposed to random people who don't have the complete context of why we're at this point with each other, then that gives them the power and right to assume and create their own narratives. And it gives them the paintbrush to paint their own picture of what we're going of what we're dealing with each other. And people like the most dramatic things, so they're gonna paint the ugliest picture, and people are gonna automatically choose sides. You know what I'm saying? So if we did live a public life and I get to see niggas coming and folks start talking about type of wife that, you know, type of person that my wife is, and start labeling her and all this stuff, then I'm gonna want to swing on a couple of niggas.
You can't fight though.
Nigga, that don't mean I won't swing on a nigga.
I think I've actually thought about this. You know, there's been at least one person, maybe two, that said, you know what, you should do that. And I'm like, what? And they know how because they know how I interact and how I am in my own space, just having a good time. I think I could do it in moments, right? Not, it couldn't be a 24-hour thing, but it could be somewhat regular enough to where you get a good insight into, you know, the kind of relationship on the positive side. On the negative side, how I handle disagreements. You know, I'm not a blow up person. So I don't know how I would want that to go down on camera. You know what I'm saying? But what Sam is saying is right, man. People are going to choose sides. You're never going to get people that are being objective, you know, because that's not how people naturally are anyway. So they're not going to try to, you know, consider both sides, consider both parts. They're going to form an opinion. They're going to side with the man. They're going to side with the woman. And then again, the moment somebody says something slick about your significant other and you read that comment, anybody, man, you gonna want to cut any woman, any dude. That's different. That I don't know if nobody can handle that. That's different.
I couldn't do it. I'll be on Google trying to find addresses.
Now look.
Can't even fight.
Okay.
All right, so for the last part, we're gonna wrap it up. Everybody give one lesson that anybody and everybody should have learned from this whole situation.
Live and walk in your, I mean, this is is a thing. I mean, it's been a thing. Live and walk in your truth. Like, you can't be preaching some other shit that you're not living.
All right. What about you, Remy? What should be a lesson learned?
The lesson learned is you definitely have to walk in your truth, and hell, don't make a living trying to put down other men or even women. Like, you know, let everything, you know, so just walk an even plane, and if you're gonna give advice, give constructive criticism that's gonna better both parties.
What about you, Sam? What you got?
If you go cheat right.
Wait a minute, you supposed to be the one that don't do the cheating.
No,
I'm not advocating it, but I mean, in anything that you do,
good or bad.
be best.
Okay,
Play-
that's a good way to put it. Okay, you're right.
No, but I mean, but in all seriousness, I mean, the nigga do need to learn how to cheat though. But in all seriousness, just be real. And I think people respect other people that are just 100% genuine and real.
Mhm.
And if he was forthcoming, like I said earlier, if he was forthcoming about the things that he was doing and then gave advice to women based on what he had done, then, and this came out, wouldn't nobody would have been like, well, damn, this nigga, you know what I'm saying, was saying one thing but living another. Like, no, if I tell you who I am up front, and then I do exactly what I said I've done or did, then they be like, okay, nigga did say.
Right.
So
I feel like a lot of people learned a lesson as far as idolizing people on the internet.
yes.
A whole lot of people that's like, you know what? You really don't know what's going on with these people.
Yeah. And if you go take a, you know what? The best advice come from junkies. The best advice come from, if you go listen to anybody, have a conversation with a crackhead. I'm telling you.
Well, maybe here's my advice to him. Here's mine.
I need him to finish while we need to talk to the crackheads first.
We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to have that one offline.
Okay, yeah.
That's a real conversation.
Back around, because look.
That's a real conversation. Deny till you die. The only person that he owed the absolute truth to, there was one person, his wife. Everybody else,
he should have an explanation by his damn self too.
Yeah,
that apology.
He's true. He real on that.
I really wish he wouldn't have got on camera because he should have said
that
right there lonely.
Yeah, he should have. Listen, deny till you die. The only person he had to have a sit down with was, hey, baby, wife. And he should have went to the wife. He is everything. He is all the truth. I cheated. I did boom, 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 boom. You basically, in that moment, when stuff started blowing up, he should have went to the wife and said, okay, I slept with this chick. I slept with this chick. This chick had an abortion.
He claimed that's what he did. He said she knows about everybybody that he's ever looked at.
And that's it.
Why would he even do that though? Like,
that's it. That's all he should have did. For everybody else, he claimed
that he did that though. He said she knows about every woman he's ever even looked at in the past 12 years.
I would have just been like, look, as they came out, shit, that's what we're gonna talk about it.
Right. I'd have been like,
what up? Yo,
that's what I'm saying. And after that, deny with the public, I'd have been Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, and it would have never been admitted while I was in office.
They would have believed him.
But you have been no, hold up, though.
I don't care nothing about evidence. I don't care nothing about evidence. I'm denying the evidence. That was a fake. That was doctored. Y'all know exactly how this special effect stuff works. I'm a target. I have been targeted by these hating ass men who've been throwing me. Hating ass men.
I need to hear you explain how you would have explained the video of him asking what kind of panties she had on or what color.
I'd have been like, that video was for my wife. That video was for my wife, and it was intercepted. It was a video that was intercepted. My phone was hacked. That was for my wife, and somebody intercepted it. I deny till you die. I'm telling you. Y'all have a good night. We're gonna wrap up. We're gonna have some more conversations offline.
Yeah.